Hey everyone, and welcome. We throw around the word website all the time, but have you ever stopped to think about what one actually is? In this explainer, we're going to break it all down in a way that's super simple and actually makes sense. So let's dive in.
So, yeah, here it is, the big question. When you pull up a site on your phone or your computer, what is it that you're really looking at? What are the pieces, the fundamental building blocks that make a website, well, a website?
Okay, the absolute best way to get this is with a simple analogy. I want you to just picture the entire internet as this one enormous, sprawling city. It's got streets, neighborhoods, millions upon millions of buildings. Just hold that image in your mind for a second.
Now, think about it. In this city, every online business, every blog, every news site, they each have their own unique building. And if you were to walk inside any one of those buildings, you'd find it's made up of different rooms. Each room has something different to show you. One might have some text to read, another has a gallery of photos, maybe a third plays a video. And there it is. That's our first big idea. A website is simply one of those buildings in our vast internet city. An online store might be a giant skyscraper, a news portal is like a public library, and maybe a personal blog is a cozy little house. Each one is its own distinct structure.
Okay, so if a website is the building, let's step inside. This is where we need to clear up a really common mix-up. What's the difference between a website and a web page? So let's be super clear. The website is the entire building. It's the complete collection of all the rooms, all the hallways, everything connected together under one single name. The lobby, every single floor, the rooftop cafe, all of it together, that's the website. A web page, though, that's just one single page you're looking at on your screen at any different time. It is one individual room inside that building. The home page is one room, the About Us page is another room, and a page showing a specific product, yep, that's another room too. All right, now, every building in the real world needs three basic things, right? It needs an address so people can find it, a piece of land to actually sit on, and a blueprint to know how to build it. Well, guess what? Websites have digital versions of those exact same things. I mean, think about it. In a real city, you use a street address. So how on earth does that work in our giant internet city? How do you find one specific building among millions and millions of others? You use its domain name. A domain name is just the website's unique, one-of-a-kind address. It's exactly like a house address. So when you type in something like google.com, you're basically telling your taxi exactly which building in the city you want to go to. Okay, so we've got an address. Cool. But a building can't just float around in thin air, can it? It needs some land to be built on. So where does a website physically exist? It lives on something called a server. Through a service we call hosting. Just think of hosting as the plot of land for your building. All the website's files and data are stored on these super powerful computers called servers, which are kept running 24/7. Okay, we have an address and we have a plot of land. Now what? How do we actually get there? We need some kind of vehicle, right? Something to travel through the city and pull up right at the building's front door. And that vehicle is your web browser. You know, Chrome, Firefox, Safari. Those are the tools that take the address you type in and literally drive you across the internet to the website. They're the ones that read the complicated blueprint and show you the beautiful finished building. And speaking of that blueprint, for a website, the blueprint is its code. It's basically made of three main parts. You've got HTML, which is the structure. Think of it as the walls and the floors. Then there's CSS, which is all the design, the paint colors, the furniture, the decorations. And finally, JavaScript, which adds all the actions and makes the lights turn on and the doors open when you click something. And here's the really magical part. As a visitor, you never actually see this complicated blueprint of code. Your browser does all the hard work behind the scenes, so all you get to do is just experience the beautiful finished building. It's pretty cool. All right, now that we have all the pieces of the puzzle, let's put them all together and take a quick digital trip. We can see how this whole thing works in a real-world scenario. So let's say you want to visit an online store. First, you type in its address, that's the domain name. Your browser then goes out and finds the correct plot of land, the hosting server. That server sends back the main entrance, which is the home page. Then, when you click a link, say for the shoes section, you're really just asking to go to a new room, and the server sends you that new web page. It's this seamless journey from room to room, all in a split second. Now that we have this city analogy down, we can easily clear up some really common myths about how the internet works. So let's bust a few, shall we? First up, A website and a web page are the same thing. We know that's not true now, right? A website is the whole building, and a web page is just a single room inside that building. Myth busted. Oh, here's a big one. Google is the internet. Nope, not even close. Google is just a massive, incredibly popular skyscraper in our internet city. The internet itself is the entire city, the whole network that connects all the buildings together. And finally, this idea that a website lives inside your phone or your computer, again, not quite right. The building isn't on your device, it lives on a server somewhere out there in the world. Your phone is really just the window you're using to look at it. So, if we boil this all down into one simple definition, this is it. A website is a digital building on the internet. It's made of multiple pages, it's stored on a server, and it's shown to you through your browser. That's the whole shebang.
And this kind of brings us to a final thought. We've just walked through the entire blueprint of what a website is and how it all works. The most amazing thing is that anyone, absolutely anyone, can learn to be an architect in this digital city. So really, the only question left is, what will you build?